Guys, this is the XSR900 and we're going to give it a review. We've had it for about a month and a half, and it's time for us to review it before it goes away. This has been a fun bike, and yeah, we won't have it soon. This is a giveaway bike with fathom.com/JakeTGS. Head on over there and you can see about entering the giveaway. It's going to end soon though, so get on it. That's a veteran-owned company, so whether you win or lose, you're helping support them and myself. So anyway, yeah, the XSR900, our time is coming to an end. Let's give it a review. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it, you know, what do we think of it? Is it real? Is time real? Is any, you know, is my dad a computer? What do we think about this thing? Remember, what was that? Don't hug me, I'm scared. Remember that? Oh, my dad is a computer. Remember when everyone was obsessed with that for like years or whatever, waiting for them to wrap it up? It was going to be like some crazy conclusion that they were going to, you know, reveal something incredible and meaningful about the world, and it was just like a bunch of random whatevers at the end, and oh, you just don't understand, Jake. It was about a deeper thing. I understood it. You know, it had to do with the starting of television productions or something like that, a television broadcaster and state-owned television or some like, yeah, so that required years of puppets and crazy skits that made us feel uncomfortable inside. They really nailed it, you know. Oh, that's that whole whimsical whatever, you know, like, oh, you just don't get it. I get it. I think that's all it really was for people. It doesn't really mean anything. So much stuff is like that, though, isn't it now, you know? I think that works for people, young people and adults alike, that just never really have actually looked into anything, you know, beyond just this silly internet video. You know, they haven't actually explored anything in life. Oh, I'm being whimsical and interesting right now because I understood this thing about the puppets. Cool. You're probably the same kind of adult that likes to go to Disney World. This is a place for kids. No, it's for me. I get to go there. I want to go to Disney World. Kind of reminds me of the first thing like that we saw that was really big was remember the Lost series back in the, what was that, early 2000s or whatever, mid 2000s, you know, Lost, the show Lost. Wow, they're on the island. And I figured out pretty quickly, I was like, they're just making this story ridiculously complicated without actually knowing where it's going. And then we're supposed to pretend it meant something deep or big. Oh, damn, it was a stupid story, and it didn't have anywhere to go. And so did Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. It was a big waste of our time. But it let people have that thing where they go, well, I understand it. Not with Lost. Lost, everyone was just like, I'm annoyed with this. But with stuff like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, people are like, oh, you know, you see, I understood it there, you know. See, I get the bigger message. It's like, no, you don't. Let people feel mysterious, though. That's what they want to do. They want to feel mysterious, I think. Oh, you just don't understand me. Wearing goth clothes or baggy whatever clothes, and you're like, you're being antisocial, but you listen to your music a lot. I'm just really into music. You guys wouldn't understand. I'm not like the rest of you. What does that mean? What are you then? What are you like? It's a mystery. Nobody knows. I don't even know. I'm kind of making it up as I go, hoping you weren't asked. I can talk about that because I was kind of like one of those kids in high school a little bit, you know? I kind of hung out with the skaters and whatnot, but, you know, we wore the baggy clothes and just kind of antisocial behavior. It's like, hey, you know, I don't actually know what I got going on for me. And nobody does at that age. I mean, you think like the jocks and stuff have it figured out. They don't know either. They're just guessing. You know, they're just doing what the guy next to them does. It's just copycat. And you're kind of doing the same thing, but trying to do it in like some mysterious way. Like, you know, and why are we doing it? I don't know. I mean, I was doing it because I was like hoping maybe some chick would think I'm cool and mysterious and she'd want to like touch me or something, you know. It didn't work, but you know, you try things when you're in high school. You don't actually know how to talk to these women, but if I act so mysterious and kind of dangerous, maybe they'll like, you know, come to me. No, because even the few times it did, you're like, I don't know what to do. Get away from me. I'm scared. It's funny because it's not like a lack of confidence in like you know. What you want to do is just lack of confidence in yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was always confident that I was a heterosexual male, if that makes sense, you know? I remember going back into kindergarten, I had 2 girlfriends in kindergarten, 2 girlfriends, hear me out. I went up to the prettiest girl I saw on the first day, and I said, wow, you're really pretty, will you be my girlfriend? She said, okay, and that was my first girlfriend. Then the next day I saw a girl that I thought was even prettier, so I asked her the same thing, and she also said okay, and then I was just hoping the 2 of them wouldn't run into each other, and you know, bicycle guys don't wave back at you. He's like, idiot. It's not my fault your non-motorized thing costs more than this. You're just hoping these 2 girls didn't find out. And then they did find out, and they were mad at me, and they said I had to pick one, and so I picked the prettier one. Evie Smith. Oh, Evie, you still out there in the world? That'd be hilarious if someone showed Evie Smith this video. I do remember though, we got in trouble because there was this like a hot tub. It's not a hot tub. It was an old bathtub, like an old cast iron bathtub they had set up with like blankets and stuff in it and pillows, and you were supposed to go there was the reading tub, and you could go in there with a friend and read a book. You know, there was a bunch of books, so we'd go in that tub together and we read books. But then we're supposed to kiss each other because we're boyfriend and girlfriend, and when we kiss each other we have to make our heads go back and forth so our noses flick against each other, because that's what they do in the movies. And so that's what we did, and and we kept doing that. We got in trouble. They actually had to make an announcement to the school that we weren't supposed to, you know, in front of all the kindergartners, like, hey, y'all got to quit kissing each other. And we were like, wow, I guess other people are doing that too. And the teacher's like, no, it's just you guys. Like, you guys got to stop that. Like I said, you don't really know what it means. It probably wasn't until a few years later, going over to my friend Stevie's house, that I figured out I liked his older sister that was like a couple years older, you know. She would have been like, what, 14, 15 years old or something. One day I'm in a room, we're goofing around, and then she was like gonna put her bikini on so we could go out to the pool. They used to have a little pool they would set up in the backyard in summertime, you know, one of those pop-up pools. And she's like, all right, you gotta go, I'm gonna change. I was like, I'll just turn around and face the wall. And she's like, I guess that's all right. And I stood in front of the tall mirror, you know? And she's like, very funny, Jake. And then proceeded to change into her top anyway. That was it. Now I know what I want. I think prior to that I didn't realize I wanted those things. Then I realized, oh, you got toys on you. It's weird. She's a couple years older than me. We were both minors, and it wasn't like a dude. See, if it was flipped, it was like a 14, 15-year-old dude was like showing his privates to like a 10, 12, whatever I was, you know. You would have been like, hey, that's kind of creepy, but I don't know, you flip the roles for whatever reason. We just go, yeah. Funny thing too about all those women, they were all my two early girlfriends there, if you will, Stevie's sister, all Hispanic. You would have thought I would have married a Hispanic. I guess you kind of get attracted to what you grew up around though, don't you? You know, a lot of Hispanics in the area I grew up as a kid. I knew what I wanted, I just didn't have the confidence to talk to these women, right? You know, so I was like, oh, I'll just be mysterious, you know. I'm mysterious, like, don't hug me, I'm scared. Look, oh, I'm mysterious. That doesn't mean anything. It just means you don't know. I think that's 99% of it with people. And you get adults that never get out of that too, and I think there's a lot more of that these days. It's just like, look, it's okay. You just don't know. You don't have to know. You don't have to like have some identity that's like something is different from other things. Just be Jim or Samantha or whoever you are. You don't need to keep getting tattoos of Jack Skellington. But yeah, I think too, growing up, I just had like a weird time trying to like socialize in general with people. And I think it might have been because pretty much from like first grade on till about 11th grade, I was on either Adderall or Ritalin, you know, because they told my parents, they said, hey, you know, he's got the ADD, HDs, and the high definitions and the dyslexias, and he's all fucked up. What do we do with that? Well, they put you in special ed classes and they put you on the medicine. And the special ed classes, if you were never in them, are kind of weird because like, you know, you're in there with all the other kids like you, with all the goof ups and the sillies, and you start thinking, man, are we like, what's going on here? But then you see the actual kids are in the class right next to you, you know, so you know you're not in that class, but you're adjacent to that class. We're not on that level, but you know, we're like a degree away or something like that. I think when you're on Adderall and Ritalin all the time, which they do help you focus. I mean, especially the Adderall. If you got some stuff you need to get done and you're worried you're not going to be able to get it done, and you take some Adderall, you're going to get it done. You're going to get it done, and tomorrow's work, and maybe even the next day's work, you know? Problem with that medication is it can make you really antisocial, you know? Like, a lot of people, I think, during school thought I was just like a loner, like I didn't really want to talk to nobody. I had friends, but yeah, I mean, I really didn't. I really kind of kept to myself a lot, and it's the medication, man. It just makes you kind of, you don't care. I hate to say it, but when you hear about horrible things happening, like, you know, and it turns out, oh, they were on antidepressants, they were on this, that, they were on Adderall. You always hear that one a lot. I'm going, I could see it. Not that I ever wanted to do anything like that, you know, but there's like a disconnect to reality. So if you became angry, you know, if you were like, had some kind of rage or something, you're on that, like it wouldn't mean anything to you to go do those kind of things, if you know what I'm saying. So I get it, you know. But you know, I don't blame my parents for putting me on that stuff. I think they were just doing what they thought they were supposed to, you know, like the doctor said. Yeah, there it is. And like, come on, Jake. Like realistically, like I said, it does work. But anyways, like in the summertime, I'd get off of it, you know, for summer break for a couple months. And I was like a different person when I was on that stuff. I mean, I was me, but I was like the real me, like the more fun version of me. And everyone always know, especially the people that were in youth group, because, you know, they would have actually my friends would have stayed with me in that, you know, through the summer. And they'd always comment, oh, you're more fun around the summertime and this and that, and the girls at church would start talking to me more. And I finally figured out, I was like, I don't think I want to be on this medication anymore. And I think I got off of it, what was I, in the 11th grade? I also was trying to join the Coast Guard. So you got to be off of, you know, any military, you got to be off that stuff for like 2 years. So I was like, oh shoot, I got to get off that stuff. So I was going to have to be like a year after graduation before I could try to get in. Fortunately, a commercial bus hit me in that time and slipped a disc in my back. And they were like, no way, bro, we ain't messing with you. Well, especially, and I had to tell them because we were already in the process. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. And so I was just more fun. I was more me when I was off that stuff. And I didn't feel like I had to be a weird, mysterious Jake. And you know, I enjoyed life. What are you supposed to do in life then? I don't know, man. Probably don't overthink it. You know, and just try to be yourself. At least I could say, despite all that silliness, that, you know, when I met my wife, I had to actually go get her number in real life. There wasn't these apps today. I don't know if this is better or worse. You know, you just had to, back then, you're like, dang it, I want to touch some, whatever. And the way to do it, you had to go and talk. So, you know, you go up, you know, I got her number. You go up to her and act cool and got her number. That's what you're supposed to do, you know. And now we're married for 19 years. Oh man, and that's another thing. Everyone thinks you gotta be some whore and bang a bazillion women, whatever, you know. But I don't think so. I'm glad I met my wife when I did. Anyways, the XSR900 is a Yamaha with a triple inline 3. It's the same one in the MT-07, FZ09, whatever. I don't even think they really tuned it differently. That's the cool thing, is like this puts the same power out that the actual R9 puts out. It weighs 420 pounds. They took a cool bike and it's just a different look. I do think it has a slightly longer swing arm for the XSR version, but like this bike isn't like some neutered version of a cool bike. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes these bikes like this, that's exactly what they are. And boy, that's a bad wreck right there. Oh, you know they aren't doing good when they're leaned over the truck there. The camper shells up. Oh my goodness, look at that one. Whew. Check out that giveaway. It'll be over here soon. Hopefully that's been a good review. Hopefully that's a good review for you there. Hopefully that's tells you what you need to know. Bye everybody. Hi there, Mr. Snake.